All right, guys, welcome back to the Revival Podcast. We're super excited to have Brennan Holmstead, the man, the myth, the legend. Welcome on, Brennan.
It's great to be here.
Yeah. Before we jump in and kind of get to know Brennan a little bit more, got a couple shout-outs. It's always crazy. Me and Brennan, we were just barely talking about how the new guys always seem to crush it, right? It's like this weird phenomenon. So up in the Kaysville office, big shout out to Ashton Markowski. Dude, yeah, way to go. I think you've been here, I'm looking at it for like under 2 weeks. By the time you guys watch this, it's probably been 2 weeks or so. And top setter on the month, already well over 100K. Probably even more by the time you watch this. So that's freaking awesome, dude. Way to go. I know Ben was saying you came to the office, he's like, am I doing something off? Like, am I doing something above what I'm supposed to be doing? It's like, no, dude, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Just show up, knock the doors, do exactly what we trained you to do, and like results will follow. So there's a big, what do you even call that? I just want everyone else to see what Ashton's doing. It's like, go back to the basics, guys. Stop getting in your head about area or about anything that you're thinking about. It's like, think back to when you very first started. What did you know? Like nothing. All you knew was the script. All you knew was exactly what we told you. So just like focus on those things and results always follow, right? Just like we say, marry the process, divorce the outcome. Another shout out to, who was it in the Orem office that's newer? Has been
Jacob Capito.
Jacob Capito, yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's
been also crushing it. He's on top on the Orem office right now.
Yeah, he's top setter. I think this is his first month.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
So it's in both offices, first month guys.
Good work. And then close behind Jacob, we've got
David.
David, he's been here for a few months, but he's been like top rep in the Orem office.
Yeah,
for
he's
the past,
been in the lead
months, right?
multiple months, and like it's really close. He's right up there.
Yeah, so good work, Jacob. Or David, sorry, not Jacob. Both of you guys. And then I missed this shout out last week because it was like kind of still happening, but Ty Haliski, freaking awesome. So he transitioned into closer, and that transition was honestly pretty rough for Ty. Like he went through a little bit of a dry spell, which is actually pretty common that we're seeing when guys transfer from setter to closer. It's just this awkward phase until you have the closer script all the way passed off and you're locked in. But yeah, right after I feel like that leadership retreat, Ty just like totally locked in and started popping off. Or after the collective, actually, it was. And so I think he ran his first 7 appointments and had closed 6 of them. 6 out of 7 of your first appointments is freaking awesome. So way to go, Ty. Super proud of you. That's all I've got for shout-outs this week. Let's jump into getting to know Brennan a little bit. So Brennan, tell me a little bit about, I like to kind of go chronological. Let's start with maybe just like a little bit of backstory. Maybe if they have any like specific things that shaped you from your childhood into the person you are now, or maybe some.
Yeah, for sure. I'm from Utah. I'm the 5th of 7.
Okay.
So I'm from a big, not as big as your family, but I am
big.
I feel like it's a big family.
It's all relative, right?
Yeah. So I have just kind of been around like a lot of my older sister's friends. She's 10 years ahead of me in school, so I've like heard of being door to door my whole life pretty much.
Okay.
She like knows people that go for the summer and they come back. Like it's just been something that I've always known about. I grew up in Utah, and the first time I ever moved, I like big city of Salt Lake to go to the U. So
nice.
I've been from Utah. School, I felt like having a bunch of older siblings and kind of seeing what they're doing in school and like, I don't know, seeing them do homework and stuff. School was pretty easy for me. Some of my older siblings like taught me math, and so I like can do math. But yeah, I'm really interested in math. My senior year of high school, I took AP statistics and I took AP psychology. And then at the U, I studied statistics and psychology. So I just kept doing that.
Nice. Were you planning on going into a career with that degree, or?
My degree's in business management, but that is a lot of like stats and working in Excel. There's like,
dude, I wish I honestly would have done that. I did a lot of things. That's like so useful as a business owner or any entrepreneur, just like learning how to do statistics and work the spreadsheets like a magician. It's like,
it's really helpful. It really helps my mindset as too. So when I was in the business college, I took a lot of marketing classes early on. And then I got really interested in like psychology. So my third year, I did a psychology minor. And it's just like kind of trying to understand why people are even doing what they're doing. So I feel like those kind of go together in selling stuff to people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Psychology is understanding people, how humans behave is so beneficial.
Yeah. And trying to like guess accurately, like, I don't know if you've ever taken like the color test or like the Myers-Briggs test or like all these all like I love to take personality tests. I've had my wife take them, some of my friends take them. Like, what do you?
Yeah, all of us business owners.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting.
About it. It's like, wow, that's eye opening. That like pegs me to a T, man.
Yeah, I've really liked to do that, and I'll like watch YouTube videos on whatever my type is, and in psychology, it seems like. So that's kind of what I did through high school and college. While I was at the U, I worked for Park City Mountain Resort, so I could get a free snowboard pass, and I'd work there on like the weekends. And
are you a big snowboarder?
Yeah, I snowboarded a lot.
I didn't know that.
I've snowboarded a lot, and so like my older brother, he skied. He's really to Deer Valleys, and this one guy, I always remember this, but he kind of watched him ski down to like the lift, and people get hurt following. So I just always think about that. But
that's funny.
Yeah, I've snowboarded a lot.
Cool. Do you do anything crazy on the snowboard? Or
just like in the trees. I'm not like in the park or on the rails or anything. Okay. Yeah, I like to go out in the powder. But as I did that for 3 winters, then I graduated and I moved to Massachusetts, just north of Boston, to do solar. And I started in October, so it was about to get. And as I was doing that, I just kept thinking,
dude, that's freezing.
Yeah, it was very cold. But I just kept thinking like, well, this isn't as bad as working at the ski resort. Like, this is cold, but it's not that bad, and it's like you can get paid more, and it's just a little bit different. So for people out there that have a job that they haven't liked, that can actually be really beneficial. Be like, well, at least it isn't my old job.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's how I felt early on when I first started.
So how did you actually get into solar? Yeah, tell me that story.
So my younger sister married a guy named Chase, and his mission companion from Tennessee, his older brother sold alarms for like 9 years, and then was doing the first office in Massachusetts. Okay. So
for solar, though.
Yeah, for solar.
He switched from
from alarms to Vivint Solar in 12, and I started in.
Cool.
So I was out there I would go out there for like 6 months of the year for like 10. Wow. So I would go out there a lot, and then
you did that for a long time.
Yeah, I kind of dodged the winter a little bit, and I go to San Diego during the winter and sell out there.
Now, was every single one of those 10 years with Vivint, or did you switch companies ever? Or?
I was with Vivint Solar the whole time. Yeah, I was with them before they went public. They were public, and then I was with them when Sunrun bought them, so I was with them the whole time.
That's awesome. Love it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Sorry, go ahead.
Just so many like thoughts, and I'm like, that's a lot of years. But I was dating my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, so my job is kind of hard to explain what my job is like. So I was like, maybe you should come out and shadow me and kind of see like what my day to day is like, and kind of show you what my job is like. It's pretty hard to explain, honestly. And some of this stuff that it's like, this is what happened, and they're like, that's what really happened with the customer. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. The people are crazy. I don't know. But yeah, she shadowed me a lot, and then she was really good at it. And now I'm married to her.
There you go.
She's sold a bunch of deals as well. So she's my star recruit.
That's crazy. I remember you first telling me about that. So you brought her out initially just to like, hey, just come see what I do, so you have like a better understanding when I get home from work. I'm like telling you about my day, know what's going on. So she comes out and shadows you, and then did she say, that looks easy, I want to try that? Or how does she actually start selling, go from like just shadowing you to wanting to sell and then crushing it?
Yeah, I just had her shadow me for a while. I would so all of my solar deals are self-gen. I close them myself. And we kind of started doing where I would go set people and kind of find people that were at least interested that I had a design for. And then I would have her come with me to like the second or the second
so
meeting.
The close, right?
And we would kind of explain to the homeowners like, okay, I'll get everything ready. And then if we're going to get all the permits and everything approved, Bailey's the one that with that.
Got it.
And she would kind of send them the emails and do the
Got it.
DocuSign. So it was really fun. And
It's friggin'
she would kind of show up and we'd close these deals. She's like, I like this job's pretty cool. And I was like,
that's
we're
awesome.
We're walking into closes. It's pretty good that way.
That's so cool. That's like, dude, I think that's probably like every sales rep's dream come true. It's like being able to go and like crush it with your wife or with your girlfriend.
It was really fun.
That's super fun.
It was really fun. And then we got married. We did that in California for like 6 months, and then we got married. And the guy that initially trained me and recruited me, Adam, in Massachusetts, he called me. He's like, well, you got to come out here. We'll pay to relocate and stuff like that. And then we went out to Massachusetts, like our first year being 2019. And I still remember we were talking about this yesterday. It was like, okay, eventually I'm going to park here and you're going to go that way and I'm going to go that way and we'll meet in about an hour. And she calls me like 10 minutes into it. It's like, hey, I think I got some people, but I'm not sure how to run their credit. Can you come like run their credit? And I just show up and she sold like the first homeowner that she talked to, I think.
That's
it was
awesome.
Crazy. She's going to be good at this. She was really good at it.
That's so cool.
It's pretty exciting.
That's fun. So I got to train your wife. That's your claim to fame.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend to people out there, like if you have a girlfriend or a wife, like one day of just have them.
Dude, that is a fun idea.
See what your schedule is like and kind of what, it is hard to explain.
They probably won't turn into the next Bailey who's just crushing it, but at least they'll have a little bit of like sympathy for you when you come home and have a hard day on the door. So.
Yeah, one of my friends out there was like, I take my wife and she goes, this is what your job's like? I'm like,
that's so funny.
Yeah, take them to a main house.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, through 10 years of experience, I mean, there's got to be a ton of different like stories and things that have kind of shaped you along the way. Are there any of those, how when you look back on your sales career, there's always like these specific days or moments that for some reason just like stand out?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe share like a couple or one or two of those that stood out to you and kind of, what you learned from that or how that shaped you.
Yeah, I was thinking about, because you sent me some of the questions to think about. I was talking, because a lot of it has been with her. Like, we can talk about it together. She knows these customers. She knows these hoods that we are in.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's unique.
We can definitely talk about it together. And there was one day where, like, I had these 4 that were set up so good, and we were going to go back on Saturday, and I was like, all right, we just got out here. I got to show her that, like, this is... And the first one, I think the husband's just shutting it down, wasn't even going to hear us out, and then ghosts us. And then the third one, I think that the wife had to go to something, and then the fourth one, like, the husband comes out and is just like, won't even hear us out. And I was just like, my gosh, this could have been so good, and now I'm just like 0 for 4.
Yeah.
It was pretty tough. For some reason, I remember some of those days more than like, oh, well, we went in and we closed this deal. I mean, those are good, but I just, for some reason, that day sticks out to me. You kind of think it's going to go one way, and then it doesn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've pulled up to a few houses with her. I'm like, I'll qualify. This kind of with solar, it has to be so sunny and kind of thing. Like, I don't know. And she's like, well, let's try. I'm like, okay, let's go in and try. And then it was like one of our most profitable deals. Like,
that's crazy.
So yeah, it's full of surprises for sure.
So what's something I guess that you learn from moments like that? Like, I'd say you said those failure moments sometimes stick out more than the successes.
Yeah, and I was like, I was pretty confident that these ones were good. So there is a lot of surprise in it, honestly. Like, you got to kind of just go in and not try and guess too much. Like, you don't want to gut guess their budget or their situation. I've had some of these window deals where, like, this one lady's boss just called in and gave me her credit card number.
What the heck?
Like, I would never have guessed that, right? And it's like, I don't know if these people are going to qualify.
That's crazy.
This is kind of like, I don't know. You can kind of guess people's credit score a little bit when you walk in their house. And she's like, oh, I don't need to worry about credit or anything. My boss is the credit card number. They're just going to put it all on a card. And I was like,
what the
okay, that's cool with me.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of surprises. Same, not just with customers, but with reps. You've probably seen that, like, I don't know if this person's going to be good. This is their first week. You know, and someone's doing amazing. It's just like, and then there's other people who are like, oh, this guy, he quits.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so there's a lot of surprise.
I love that correlation. It's like from sales to reps, because it is 100% true. It's like you can walk into some homes and think, for sure, I'm going to close this deal, and it's just shut down at door. It's like, what the? That was the most solid set I've set in a month.
Yeah.
And it just gets shut down. And then the other ones are, you're like, no way, this ever closes. Then they walk in, dude, it's a lay down. You're like, what in the world? Like, yeah, so it makes you sometimes like question your own knowledge, because you have so much experience, like especially you. Like,
yeah, I've met tons of people. I've done this from Massachusetts to Hawaii, right? California, Texas. Like, I've done this all over the nation, and like trying to guess can actually not be good. Like,
yeah, no, it can't
just
hurt
try
you.
and go in with an open mind. And I've listened to like Brian Tracy, and he kind of explains like the whole pitch. It's very similar to like a play or like a song. Start the song in the third verse. Just go to these people, start at the start, go through the end, and they're probably going to do it. I don't know. I mean,
dude, I really like that.
It's very interesting. Don't like start out of order.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think that happens. I think that's actually probably the biggest piece to the puzzle on like understanding why rookies perform at such a higher level than they do like 2-3 months from when they start.
Like, well, let's try and switch the order of this part. It's like,
that or because they have enough experiences now. They say, oh, last time I knocked on a door that was like this, or a customer that initially started the conversation like this, and they didn't buy. And so then going up to the home or starting the pitch, like, oh, this guy's like probably not going to buy, or this isn't going to work out, or this guy is going to work out and he doesn't. He spends too much time with them. Like, they take their small sample size of interactions with homeowners or doors that they knocked, and then they put that label from that small sample size onto the rest of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And when you're pre-labeling everything, that's when it can really screw you over, right?
Yeah. I've said this a lot to some of my friends too. They might look at the weather. You don't know till you go, and you don't know if these people are going to do it or not.
Wait, are you saying that the weatherman is not 100% accurate?
That's right. That's right. The internet has been wrong before.
Wow, that's crazy.
Sometimes it's sunny up there and they say it's not. But yeah, another one I think about a lot. So shout out Jared Ford. He's set me a ton of them. And one of them these people had like 6 broken down cars and all the grass is dead.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
They wouldn't even let me. They're like, we're hoarders. They were owning it
for
sure.
Man.
And I was like, okay.
Those are the worst.
Thanks for letting me stay outside. So we just measured them from the outside, and I was like, these people are not going to pass.
Yeah, there's no
credit.
way.
Like,
right.
I was not.
Even if they want it, they're going to fail credit, right?
Right. And they're like, actually, we're just going to write a check. They're like, yeah, we have an 850 credit score, but we don't need to use our credit. They like showed me their score on their phone. And I was like,
that's crazy.
It's just surprised again, right?
That is
like,
so
oh
crazy.
My gosh.
So actually going off of this theme, just for everyone out here listening, this is very much applicable. Like Brennan said, sales are this way, but also like recruits are this way. Like I yet to be surprised, or I've, how do you say that? I never stop getting surprised by the way that reps perform, whether it's not performing the way I expected them to, or going way above beyond what I thought that they would perform at. And so like when you're starting to get into recruiting, which we're starting to push really hard right now, and we've got a lot of really cool incentives rolling out for you guys, as well as like your recruiting overrides. But when you start pushing hard on recruiting, it can be really easy to think of the name and then say, oh, that guy wouldn't do good, or oh, that guy's way above this job, or that guy's way too cool for me, and put all these excuses or labels on people before you even make contact with them. My mindset on recruiting is, guess what? It's not even your decision whether that guy wants to do it, and it's not in your control whether that guy's going to perform or not perform.
Right.
The only thing that's your responsibility and in your control is inviting. It's kind of like on the mission, right? It's like your job is purely to go out,
explain it,
open your mouth, and invite people, and it's like either they're going to accept it or they're not, right? And they're going to either benefit from it or they're not.
Right. And sometimes, like, if you go through that process with people and it doesn't go how you were hoping, and you're like, oh, maybe I did something wrong. It's like some people do it and some people don't. That's another thing with, like, I say the same script when I'm setting these and when I close them, and some of them do it and some of them don't, and change it because some people didn't. It's like, It's like the same. No, like it's the same.
Yeah.
Some people do it and some
Slippery
people
slope
don't.
if you do, right? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, that
It's like,
person
oh,
said
maybe
no.
I should change this because they didn't do it. And then you start changing stuff. Some people will still do it and won't, and you're not sure what to change. So it's a lot of variables and guessing, honestly.
That's really fun. Yeah, there's not only on deals that you don't close, but also deals that you do close that you add. I see this happen all the time with closers, and it's this is why it's important to like come to closer meeting and refresh on your pitch and your script and stuff, because a lot of times what will happen is you'll say this like one little, like a one-liner here or there, like add some fluff into the pitch, and then they'll close, and you're like,
Oh, I found the secret.
it was because I said this line, it worked so well, you know, and then you like add that one and the next one and the next one, and then all of a sudden your pitch is like 30 minutes longer, just full of random crap that you did not need in there, because you thought that those little tidbits that you were adding in there were really adding to the value of the pitch, but they actually weren't. And then you actually start losing deals because your pitch is just like all over the place. It's super messy. So that's like a very slippery slope you got to be aware of as a setter and a closer. Same thing happens. I see it all the time. So let's transition a little bit. Unless, do you have anything else through your like solar career, like any big failures that you want to talk about that you learned from?
I've listened to like I've listened to so many podcasts. That's probably what I'd recommend to people. It's like there is driving in this job every day. Like you drive to and from, like try and listen to podcasts, at least on the way out, like before work. After work, maybe you don't want to listen to podcasts or work stuff as much, but podcasts have helped me so much, or books, you know, like I listen to a bunch of the books in the Audible, and it can really help kind of set you up to pretty much repeat what you're hearing in these books and use these strategies with things. So I would really recommend podcasts. Sometimes in these podcasts, these people, there's kind of only two ways to start if you're doing door to door. The first way is you don't sell anything for like a week or two. That's a lot of people go through that. The other way is sell one on your first day. And that can especially if someone's shadowing you, that can be really tough. Some of the best days that I've like really learned are like some of these top people in solar. Like I shadow them and I just watch them. I've never seen
Really?
except for Bailey.
That's
seen
crazy.
Bailey close deals.
That's crazy.
But I've never seen anyone do it, and that like helped me more because I was like, oh, these guys are there to the top. They're also getting shut down and told no, right? So sometimes I've had people shadow me, and then we like set the first door or two, and I'm just like,
crap.
They think that's what this is like. We need to get some no's in here, so they're like, oh, okay, this is actually what it's like. They don't just walk up and sell stuff and leave. Like,
that's
you see what I'm
so
saying?
valuable. Absolutely. Like setting proper expectations for yourself, right? It's like understanding that it's like this job is really awesome and you definitely have successes and cool interactions, but 90% of it is actually just rejection, right?
Yeah.
That's what sales is.
Yeah, and I mean 90% is very accurate because I talk about this so much. If you set 4 out of 40 decision makers, right? Should you be mad that you messed up on the 36? No, that 4 of 40 is like really good, right?
Right.
Like the stats of it, I'm very interested in all the math. It's kind of like if you're like shooting 3-pointers and you missed half of them. No one makes half of these. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you kind of have to understand the stats to understand if you should be like going good, because I just got 9 out of 10 times.
Right.
It's like, wait, that didn't feel like I was doing very good. It's like, so that's kind of part of it.
Yeah, I always love doing that. It's like anytime you feel like you're doing crappy or feel like you're getting rejected over and over and over again, just like zoom out and look at the big picture, like what actually happened on paper, right? So I talked to 10 people, set one of them or closed one of them, whatever that might be. Say, hey, I'm actually doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And I made this much money. I'll go do that again. I'll go get rejected 100 more times so I can make this much money. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you've explained like the whole math of it is there for a repo a day, and you can like get all of the stats and maybe more. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, try and understand like the stats and the ratios and what is really good. It's not 50%, right? 50% is like undoable. Like you can't set
unless you're Brennan, then you're closing more than 50%.
We've been closing a bunch of them, but yeah, just to kind of understand like what is reality. Like if you're like, well, I'm trying to close every one of these, come back to reality. That's not doable. So yeah, I try and understand that and like understand what the race. Think about that a lot.
So I did want to ask you how you got out of solar, how you found Revival Windows. Let's tell that story a little bit.
Yeah, so I was doing solar in California at the time. So Bailey got into the graduate program of architecture, and I would go on blitzes for like the 10 days to California. And I'd never done that before. I'd never like been on blitzes. Her and I would go together. Yeah. Right. So going on blitzes, I was like, this isn't what I'm trying to.
Didn't you have kids by this point though, as well? And so
yeah,
she was going with you with the kids on these blitzes, or what?
No. So she was with me before we had kids. She actually won the national tournament in Sunrun, and she was the top performer of the office that won it all in 2020.
Dang.
And she got pregnant, and now she's the mom. And I was like, you haven't worked since, you're like the best to do it. So I always joke about that with her, what happened. But yeah, she's the mom now. And so I would go on blitzes, and I didn't like that. I don't know if there's people out there doing blitzes. It's not very fun to leave your wife and your kids at home and be like, all right, I'm here for like a week, 10 days. I don't know. So I did that. Like I did that once, and I sold a couple. Like, well, that went good. Let's maybe do that again. Let's try one more time. I do it again, and I sold a couple. I'm like, this is going good. Let's try one more time. And on the third one, I was on Instagram and like saw your ad, and I was like, maybe I want a job in Utah because I don't want to, I want it to go good, but if it keeps going good, I don't want to do this for years.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like this weird
trap of doing something you don't want to do because you're making a lot of money.
Right. And I'm like, well, I want to make money. That's good. But if I keep doing that, then I feel like, well, let's do 2 weeks instead of 10 days this month. Let's do 17 days. It's just like, it just gets more and more of like, this isn't what I'm aiming.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
So I stopped doing that and started at Revival in October 7th. I still remember it.
Thanks. So that means you came in like pretty much exactly at our year mark then, huh?
Yeah, so
we started
my first
like
day,
10th?
I shadowed someone, and I was they're like, have you done door-to-door before? I was like, yeah, I've sold solar before.
Done a few doors.
I've knocked on some doors. Yeah, and he's like, well, I want to see you do it. And I was like, okay, I'm supposed to shadow you, but let me try this one. Set this guy the same day, and he closed. Like, let's go. First day.
Who were you shadowing, do you remember?
Warner.
Nice.
Yeah, and he was like, I was like, you're gonna put that one in my name or that your name? He's like, no, that's in your name. It's fine. He's like, yeah, you can run this one. It's not going in. Probably, the odds say it's not going in, but closed on this first day, and then the next day was the 1 year party, and so I like went to it, and I started at Vivint Solar when there was just one office, and now I think there's 7 of them. The guy that was my manager, Adam, he was like my first manager. I don't know. This is what managers are like. I thought. Turns out he's over like 200 offices, and he's the VP of the whole East Coast now. And I actually had a really good manager.
Yeah, really good manager.
Yeah. So I've said that to a few people in the Orem office. I'm like, this is your first job you've ever had, and you might think all the managers are like Andrew.
They're not.
This is not the case. Andrew's actually really good, and like, he's listened to so many books. I've said this to my wife. I'm like, he's listened to explain it. So shout out Andrew. Some of the people, they're like, oh, I'll just go to another office. I'll go do something else. Like, all the managers are good. It's like they're actually not. I've had some really bad managers, and I didn't know they were bad because I don't know. I thought I had a good manager, but I just thought he was normal. But it turns out he.
Yeah, that is so true. It's so easy to take for granted something that you just don't even realize you have, right? Unless you've experienced a bad manager, you don't know what a really good manager is.
Right.
And you just think, oh, mediocre, normal. The grass is always green on the other side. Like I can't even tell you how many reps that have like left for one reason or another. They get promised something somewhere else, and then they reach back out and they're said, like, made a mistake leaving.
They said they could do this, they didn't do it.
Yeah, like I thought it was gonna be awesome over here, but really, like being over here has helped me realize all of these things that you guys are doing so well that just doesn't really exist in the industry or is super rare in the industry. And so I love that. Like, yeah, big shout out to Andrew. Like, all of our managers actually are freaking awesome. Such good guys. And a very common theme to good leaders, managers, and just successful like businessmen in general is books. It's books, it's podcasts, it's just being totally immersed in self-improvement and always learning.
And with books on audio now, it's just like, it's so much, dude. You don't have to like the time to sit down.
Yeah, dude, I was always not.
You can just like listen to them as you drive. It doesn't even take extra time. So I would really double down on that. Like, you're going out to like a podcast or a book, it'll definitely a lot.
Yeah, that's actually the one of the things I missed most about being like actively involved in the day-to-day, like knocking doors, closing deals, is I don't get that much drive time anymore. It's like I live 7 minutes from headquarters, and I'm moving. I'm about to be like 4 minutes from headquarters. It's like I have 4 minutes of driving each day to work and home from work, and I miss the drive time because I loved, that was like my time to just like soak in all the knowledge I can from audiobooks. So now it's like a lot harder. I have to like intentionally block out time, dive into a book or listen to sections on it, and it just doesn't happen as frequent as I would like it. So
for sure,
everyone out there, like, don't miss out on the opportunity that you have right now to be forced to have a bunch of drive time. Just like take advantage of that time. Use it wisely.
Yeah, I've actually almost on purpose put drive time into my day. Like as I do solar, I've kind of picked spots that are like about a half an hour away. One, so I can like listen to stuff as I go out there. And another one is so that once you're out there, you're like, I drove to come out here. I'm not like, I can't really go home for lunch. Like, I'm not driving out here for nothing. Like, it's time to do it.
Right.
I have seen some people that they're working like right by where they live, and that doesn't lead to success. Like, they don't sell deals for whatever. They're like, well, I can go back to do this, or I got to go grab this at my apartment or whatever, and it just really lead to success. So I kind of like a drive. Like one other thing, I think you were mentioned on one of the podcasts. You've said how are you more introverted or extroverted?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm definitely more introverted.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. I'm very introverted. So like I was saying, I like psychology, taking like all these personality tests. I test very and introverted people get energy from being alone. And if they're in like a big group setting, it can be draining, right? Extroverts are the opposite. If they're in like a big group setting, they get a lot of energy from it. And if they're alone, they're like,
yeah.
So I feel like I can kind of charge up in this job. A lot of people feel like, oh, you're a door-to-door salesman. You must be very extroverted and talk to people all the time. And I'm just like, no, it's actually a lot of alone time, especially if they're not home at this door. You got to walk to the next one like it's just you.
That's true.
And all your thoughts.
It is a very lonely job.
Yeah, it can be very isolating. So I kind of charge up and do that. I like to, on a lot of these closes, I'm parked up the road, 5-10 minutes. Let's charge up. Let's get everything ready so that I can go in and like these people. So it's definitely for introverts. I don't know if there's people that are going to try that. I'm not kind of beneficial to be introverted.
100%. I definitely had that self-limiting belief, like, oh, it's like going to do that good. It's not a people person, very introverted. But my first manager over at Aptiv, he also peg himself as an introvert. He's like the best recruiter out there, and he had me read this book. It's called The Introvert's Advantage or The Introvert's Edge or something, and it's just about introverts as sales reps and how they perform, and they actually have an advantage over other reps because they're just like, they don't rely on their charisma or their outgoingness to connect with people and to get sales. Like, it's not natural for them to do that. So they have to rely way more heavily on like, just like dial in on, all right, this guy tells me to do that and say this and say that. When they say this, I say that. Okay, I'm going to do that. And they just do that.
Yeah, they can kind of get in their own bubble and like strategize and memorize and be like, okay, I can repeat that when it comes down to it. Yeah.
And those are always the reps that outperform. Like if you could have a rep that's just like naturally gifted or talented or extroverted versus a rep that's definitely not that, but is committed to like working hard on that craft and always honing in on that. It's like, I pick this rep every time because he's going to start out slower, but he's going to surpass this guy who's not willing to actually put in the effort, and he's just going to rely on his own natural talents.
Yeah, for sure. I've managed a handful of offices in solar, and if you were to just walk into a meeting and try and guess who's the top performer here, that could be really hard. It might be like that quiet guy in the corner.
Dude.
That, like, you're like,
and it often is.
You're like, so that's the guy that's leading the whole thing? And they're like, yeah, and by a lot. It's like, I haven't even heard him talk.
Yeah.
They're like, that's why he's doing it. I don't know. It's surprising, right? Back to like I was saying, it's like there's a lot of surprises. But I just really feel like being introverted can lead to you really strategizing, trying to focus on it. It's not like you're with a bunch of people. You're with like one or two people in the house too. So it is pretty introverted. But yeah, have you ever like pitched to like at the table or the house? Or
I've not 10 people, but I've definitely had some like bigger groups. That's super intimidating, man. You're trying to pitch to everyone. Have you ever done that?
I've crashed a couple birthday parties on Saturdays where I show up and there's like 30 people here, and I'm like, all right, everyone gather around. So, but it's very rare. It's usually like people, one person.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, now you're here. You're at Revival. It's been, let's see, just over a year, right? Because we're in November, and absolutely crushing it. You started out, you moved into closing, and to start, remember you wanted to like self-gen only. You were on that. Yeah. You were self-gen all my you were like riding that boat for a long time. We're like, dude, I promise you, if you like will take leads from other guys, you will have more leads to run and make more money, and the setters will make more money too. It's like, it's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, dude, I just want to self-gen. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude.
I was self-genning for like 2 or 3 months.
And you killed it.
Yeah, it was going good.
I think you have probably the company record for like self-gen in a month. I don't know. You had a month where you self-gen, like, did you self-gen in your...
It was almost 200K in May.
I think so. Like,
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, you're killing it, self-genning. But yeah, what made you come around to... It's like, all right, I'm going to not only self-gen, I'm going to take leads from the team and kind of make this like a team effort.
It just kind of seemed like there's kind of 2 different schedules. It's hard to go from setting to closing a little bit.
Right.
Just like schedule-wise. So I was like, well, I'm not going to like be in my area trying to find, if I have to go run this deal, I like have to drive over there. It's kind of a logistics thing. And we had a bunch of setters in July, and they're like, we need people to run these. I was like, okay, I'll run them. And some of the people were seeing that I was closing my self-gens, and they're like, yeah, come run this one. I was like, all right, I'll run it for you. Yeah, I just started to kind of get momentum, and it was going good. I don't know.
So it kind of just fell into your lap. You're like, you were needed in that capacity. You stepped up to it, and then you realized, hey, wait a second, this is actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, I talked to Andrew about it a lot. I was like, I want to self-gen, but this is actually going good. I could see how this could really be better. So yeah, you also, more appointments, you can get better at it, right?
Yeah,
you practice it and figure out what. So I've definitely been practicing it.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing, like going from self-gen only, just learning how to close, or when you just don't have a lot of leads. Like, it's hard for me actually to switch back and forth between setting and closing. I feel like they're different mentalities in a way. And when I can just be in one, like if I'm just setting, I will throw down as a setter. If I'm just closing, I will just get dialed in, and I will just go and I'll close at a really high level. But if I'm trying to do both, it's like back and forth between these 2 different roles. I feel like I'm not all in on the setting, and I'm not all in on the closing. And so like overall my game is a little bit lower. I'm the type of guy, I feel like I have to really get in a flow state. It's like, even this is just me being open and vulnerable and honest. Like, even the thought of me, like we're gonna do, this is a little sneak peek. We're gonna do like an owner's blitz in the next few months here. It's gonna be super awesome. We're gonna go out to Denver, and we might fly some guys out here with us as well. But we're gonna do like owners versus the.
Okay, that'd be fun.
It's going to be awesome. That would be good. So I'll put it out there. It's happening now. It's on the podcast. Yeah. But we just barely talked about this at our offsite. But like the thought of that is actually a little bit intimidating for me, just because like I know what I'm capable of.
Well, the new guys are going for you.
I know what I'm capable of, but also like I'm not out there day to day. Like I'm not in your shoes where like, dude, I'm in the flow state. Like I'm closing everything because it's just like what you're doing. And so like jumping back into it, like I know I can get there, but it's like gonna take me a minute to like get back into it, and that's really scary for me, because it's like I have this high expectation that people probably have of me, but yeah, I know that I got.
And you have of yourself,
and then I have of myself. I'm like, freak, I can't like go out and not perform, so it's like scary to go out and do that. And so it's like, it just goes to show like how important it is to get in a flow state. So when you're like looking at your schedule and stuff, like it's not wise to frequent like small breaks. Like if you're every weekend you're doing like a 3-day weekend, you're like constantly screwing yourself over. You're shooting yourself in the foot by doing that because you're breaking up your flow state like so frequently.
Yeah, momentum is very real. It's very real in this job. It can really affect your attitude too. I thought about that a lot because there's kind of two ways to start, right? You start and you don't sell anything for weeks, or you start and you sell one on your first day. If you sell one on your first day, you think, I don't have to work tomorrow. Yeah. Take the next day off. I'll just 3 days from now, it's easy, right? You just go out and sell it. It's like kind of setting yourself up for it's not how it goes. Same thing if you're having a rep shadow you and you sell one in the first hour and they're it might not be as easy as that, but you got to keep the momentum in the schedule. That's another thing that's helped me a lot. That's kind of how I got some of the deals initially, is some people would have days off or they were out of town or something, and I'm like, well, I wasn't really taking a flex day. I would just run them every time. Yeah,
momentum breeds momentum.
Right. And that's how it was in solar. I would just
that's exhausting.
I like it. It's hard to start, but then when you're in it a lot, sometimes like certain habits, there's probably people that like once you're going to the every day, it's hard to not do that at some point, right? So once you're into the flow state or like the momentum of it, it's kind of hard to not
keep
do
doing
it.
That,
It's just like, I don't know, it's going good and I don't really want to stop. And
why would I?
Instead of taking a day off, there might be a day where I don't have any that get set to me, or I have one. That's kind of a day off. I don't know.
That's a good way to look at it. Any days that you don't sell, that's just your day off.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's not what everyone's going to do, but I'm so far into working a lot with solar that I kind of just like, it's hard not to almost. I just kind of sit around. I even get a little weird after lunch where like I have to like go do something. I can't just like, I'm so used to doing that. Similar to like the gym, or if people have habits they do every day, like if you stop doing that, you're not like sure what to do. It's like, this isn't what I do at this time. So the momentum is really powerful.
For sure.
I think the new guys get that as well. They're like, well, this is what you do in the schedule. And people are like, I don't know, I made whatever they made last week. I can go 4 days.
Yeah, and if you're ever feeling demotivated or like you can't get out there, it's like the best way to get motivated again is just to get out there and get a sale. Like that is the most motivating thing you can do. Yeah. Because that momentum will breed momentum. It's like it's like get out there, talk to someone, go out there, try to find some no's, because eventually gonna hit someone that says yes, and then feed off of that momentum. Got one in the bag, let's see if I can get another. It's just stack those wins.
That's how some of the streaks are happening. You get one and it's just like the next one's easy. You just had one and it's just like the
exponentially gets easier, right? When you had your how many in a row? 7 in a row, right?
7 in a row.
It's like first one, all right, let's go. Let's close the next one. You close it, it's like, oh, dude, I'm going to keep going. No one says no to me now. It's like, boom, 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 boom. That's so cool.
Keep doing that, and there's just like the attitude of like people just do this and they read that. Yeah. I mean, it's like assumption, but so that streak of 7, the first one of that whole thing, it was this daughter that speaks Spanish and her parents and like I can speak some Spanish, like I can say some phrases. To like listen to people talking like full on Spanish, I can't pick. I don't know. So I would explain it to this daughter, who would then explain it to her parents, and I'm just like sitting there in silence for like 4 or 5 minutes because they're like going back and forth, like talking, right? And at some point I felt like their tones changed or something, and I'm just like, maybe they don't like that part. And then she goes, okay, I explained that to them. They really like that part. It's like their favorite part. Like, and so it was a shift in my mind of like, they really do want to do it. Why else do they have me out here? They're the ones that said, come over and show me what these options are. Like, so it was a mindset shift. And then the second one was English, and I closed that one fast. And then the third one was another translating. It was the son, but this time it was Abdul translating to Muhammad. And I do not, I know even less Arabic than Spanish. And so I'm watching them go back and forth. And I'm like, this is not about it. Is this guy mad that I'm here? And this sounds really good. He wants to do it. And I was like, okay. So don't get in your head of like trying to guess if people want to do it. Like after all these years of selling all these people, you still can guess wrong and be like, did you like that part? It Sounded like he didn't like it part, but
Yeah.
turns out that's like their favorite part. So
That's crazy.
that definitely put the momentum in. Have you sold many translation deals?
I've sold a couple, but
They're
few and far
hard.
behind. Yeah.
They're hard, and they take a lot longer.
Yeah, they
'Cause
do.
you have to just sit there and be like, all right,
those are frustrating. So we're about out of time, but I did want to just spend just a couple minutes to ask you. I mean, you've obviously been totally crushing it on the closer side. If you had to like boil it down or pick one thing that you feel like you're doing that might be different than what other reps are doing, or one thing if someone asked you, like, what's your secret sauce to doing so well, what would that be? And I know that's kind of a hard question, but
yeah, that is a hard question.
I'm sure you've thought about it and people have asked you before.
Yeah, there's one of my favorite quotes is from Bob Proctor, and maybe I don't get it word for word, but he's talking about like you set this goal, right? And then if you tell people this goal, they're going to be like, well, how are you going to do that? It's like you don't even need to know how you're going to do it. You just need to know that you're going to. And even after you complete the goal, and people are like, well, how did you do it? And you're like, I'm not even sure how I did it. I just said, I'm going to do this. And that's kind of what happened. Obviously, there's trends and there's stuff that is similar with them, but you don't get too caught up on how you're going to do it. If you can just completely make up your mind that I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to hit this month, and I'll do it however I have to. That's kind of the answer to, well, how are you going to do that? However I have to. I don't know.
I'm going to make it happen, right?
Yeah. But to answer your question, I feel like I'm going into the house, and I really got to zone in on the person that's going to notice this difference the most. And that's not necessarily the person that runs credit or is going to do it, right? Oftentimes, it's the person that's home a lot that wants.
Interesting.
They notice the windows are bad, right? And the person that's paying for them, they're at work getting the money to pay for these windows, right? So, it can be either way, but I see a lot of husbands. Of course he feels that way. He's gone 10 hours of the day. He drives to work. He's there for 8 hours. He drives back. He's just like, he doesn't notice it as much as the people that are there all the time.
Yeah, that's actually super interesting.
So I really try and focus on the person that is going to notice the difference the most, so I can get them on my team, kind of 2-on-1 the person. So that's
awesome.
That's kind of the strategy I've been doing. It's been going good. Also, we got to figure out what ones they're going to notice, kind of start there. A lot of my deals, it's not every
Which
window
windows
in
are
the
going to
house.
notice most?
Yeah. You measure them all. You
Yeah,
show them
yeah.
all of them. But I really do want them to feel like this is a really high value, right? We really notice these. Sometimes I'll like meet people and they haven't even just upstairs. So they're not too worried about that. So I'm really focusing on what is your highest priority and what are you going to notice the most? Who's going to notice that the most? Let's get them to sell. This is kind of their time for her to be like, is bad. And he's like, it's not that bad. It is. So I try, obviously I'm trying to explain, but I want her. It really is. My deal like 2 days ago, the guy was home all the time. He'd been injured at work, paid leave or disability, yeah. And so she was at work all the time, and she's like, these windows are fine. These windows aren't bad. They are bad. This one right here, this is the highest priority of all of them. And so we kind of get him to explain to her that this is a big deal, right? There's all sorts of projects and lists. And I do say that a lot to people, like, yeah, there's always a list, and the list changes order probably every day. The market changes every day. Just kind of see what your options are and figure out if this is what you're. So some people, I measure the whole house, and they're like, that's not what I'm looking. Okay, what were you looking for? Kind of wanted me to come out and measure your house and show you the options. What are you looking for? We're looking for that one, that one, that one. And I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have guessed that. I don't know. I didn't know that was the most important one. They're like, yeah, our nephew's moving into this room next month, and we have to do those windows. And I was like, oh, I don't know. So I really try not to guess at what they're going to want. I just try and really figure out who is feeling the pain. They want to get away from the pain, right? Yeah. Same thing in solar. The person that we're focusing on is because
they're feeling the pain.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, they're feeling the pain. So the people that are by the windows that are loud or cold or having problems, they're the ones that we're trying to get them to feel comfortable enough to tell the other person that, hey, this is, and maybe they haven't even talked about that until I'm here to kind of create like, okay, this is the hour.
Yep.
Let's speak about how you're really feeling.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
So that's kind of what I've been doing. It's trying 2-on-1 someone, right?
That's
and you got to
super
guess
cool.
the right person.
Yeah.
Whose credit is wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
that's fun.
I don't know if that answers your
No, that definitely answers it. That's like a really unique perspective that I don't think a lot of closers have. I think most people go in, do the script, pitch them, focus on the decision maker, which might be the money guy, but really need to focus on the other person, so then you guys can both focus on the decision maker with the money. And maybe this one's a myth. This is kind of transitioning, like if there's any like quirky things or weird things that you do in the pitch that you feel like, oh, dude, yeah, this is like my little secret tidbit. But I heard through the grapevine that you like first thing when you walk into a home, you like go and tap on the window and say, oh yeah, that's a 16th.
Yeah, I have been doing that. I'll like walk over to the window and be like, so do you know what kind of windows you have? And they probably don't know. I walk over and like hit them. Like, oh yeah. Like, so they're just builder grade windows. It is pretty easy to tell though. Like you hit a hard window and you're like, you can tell if it's thick or not.
That's so funny, dude. I love that you do that.
If you can get them to laugh, that's a big benefit. With self-genning, I would do this all the time. I'd be like, yeah, I'm measuring a few houses out here today and tomorrow, so I can't really measure your house right now unless you want me to. I have a sample in my car, and I'll just go grab it and then just like go right into their house. I had a few of them go good like that.
That's so funny. Is there anything else weird, like quirky or just like fun little things that you've done during your close?
So another thing that a lot of the people they've never bought windows. And if you meet someone that has bought windows before, that's really good because they're my deal yesterday, this guy had like 6, and that was easy to sell.
Right. Yeah,
like, I have a bunch of quotes. I understand what pricing is like. This is really good.
Yeah.
Something that pretty much everyone you're ever going to meet has bought and when you're sitting there and probably see the TV, right? You're usually at the kitchen table. And I try and bring that into it a lot. Like I talked to, so this is actually very similar. They're like, yeah. I'm like, I could find, yeah, but it would cost. And I could find a TV more than that, right? So they have bought TVs. So you kind of get them in the mindset of like, you've bought stuff. You understand that if the TV's bigger, it costs more with Windows. You can also buy different warranties. There's tons of options. I first would kind of do that with cars or trucks. With not that many people have bought a truck, right? But if you go buy a truck, okay, this truck is $100,000. It's like I can find a truck. I can find a truck for $2,000. You don't want to drive it. It doesn't work, but it does cost less. Same thing with TVs, and they can really understand that like, oh, there's many products that are made by the same company that are very different. Like this is a Samsung TV right here. Cheap ones, they make expensive ones.
Right.
Same thing with Windows. There's Windows that they aren't very good and they cost less. Windows that are really nice and they cost more. Tons of variants. So I talked about TV a lot.
That's interesting. That's great. I love that.
This one guy I was like, this thing, how big is this? I could have found a TV way less than that. He goes, well, of course you could have, right? And he's like explaining to me why this big TV is really nice and worth the money.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the discussion you're having with the windows, right? It's like these windows are nicer, and that's why they cost more than you could go find at home. So that's definitely a parallel. I talk to people about TVs a lot.
Yeah, that's money. It's easy, accessible, something you point to. It's right there. Everyone's bought it. That's cool. Well, thanks for sharing that.
So
that's cool. I think we're wrapped up on time. I'd love to keep going, honestly. This is fun. We'll maybe have to have you back out here another time and keep picking your brain because it's fun to see what you're doing, dude. I'm excited to see what you do in the future here.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, thanks
so
for coming
much.
on. All right.